Carolyn Doobie here. What's the play for today? Well, today we're going to be making some very exclusive, fancy, and technically challenging texture making tools to use with the gel plate. Now, you've probably picked up a little sarcasm with that. These are using things that would be considered trash. At least it's considered trash by everyone in my family because they keep wondering, can we throw this away or no? So they know to save things for me for things like this. You're going to need some other very fancy things. Things like a glue gun, and then of course the ever hard to find cardboard scraps from off of a box. Well, here's my collection of lids that I've saved over a while. I've got things from that. Yep, that's from Scotch tape when the roll was empty. Any kind of makeup or shampoo bottles, that kind of stuff. The lids are wonderful. Lids from things like water bottles or sodas. A lot of paint lids here. Now, what I'm doing right now is sorting through these and trying to find ones that are the same height. Now, this is a very scientific and precise process. You put one lid next to another, and then I put my hand on the top and see if they're even. If they're even, then they're the same height. If they're not, then I don't put them together. And I'm creating two groups here. It's turning out that I've got about two different sizes happening here to make this kind of tool. And yes, I am going to save all of the lids that don't quite fit in my two groups here, because they will make wonderful texture making tools to use on a gel press plate in a future date. In a date? What does that mean? On a future date. Well, now I'm going to bring on the very finest cardboard. Yes, I source this from all sorts of exotic locations, namely my front porch or mailbox when I get packages. I just cut whatever kind of box I've got. This happens to be, I think, the flap from one of them. And then I'm going to play around with the caps and get them into a position that I like. And I totally have to laugh at myself because I like it one way, but I also like it another way. And I was really getting stuck in the how do I make a decision about which way I want to do this? Because once I glue them down, then it's pretty much a done deal for me. As if I can't save a bunch of random caps and lids and do this again. You'd think these were the last plastic lids on the earth the way I'm trying to get this just right. Well, I finally picked one way that I wanted it, and then it was time to glue it down. So by putting some glue, hot glue, just around there. Now, did I have to use hot glue? Could I have used something like gel medium or Elmer's glue? Oh, heck yes. I can use any kind of glue that I want. It's just hot glue dries faster for me, so it's an immediate gratification kind of a thing. And then once I've got them all glued on, then I am simply going to trim up the cardboard, and that way it is exactly the size that it needs to be. Now you may get a sense of deja vu here because it's the same process of putting the lids on here, deciding how you want them, and yep, I couldn't decide which way I wanted them. Did I want a straight line? Did I want sort of a flowing line? And again, it's not like there weren't going to be more paint lids in my future. I use paint, I'll just save the lids, so I finally picked one. Now the lids have a little bit of a curved inside, so I realized, the glue has to actually touch the cardboard if I want them to stick. So I did make sure that I put the glue right around the edge, and I was extremely proud of myself when I finished these. Not because I put them all on there, but because I didn't actually get any hot glue on my hand or burn my fingers, which I was pretty sure was going to happen with me doing the edges around here. And with just a quick trim of the scissors, my second texture making tool is ready for some gel printing. So I've got the 8x10 gel press plate here and some acrylic paint. Any acrylic paint will work when gel printing, and I highly recommend that the best kind of paint for you to use is the one that is within arm's reach. That way you can get the play part faster. I'm going to press the tool in here, and notice I'm wiggling it. I'm wiggling it because what I want to do is pick up the paint, get it all the way down to the bottom of the plate. So I want to be able to see the plate underneath it, because if I can see that pattern here in the paint, that means when I take the print, I'm going to be able to see the pattern then. So I'm going to put a piece of paper on top of this, and yes, you can use any kind of paper that you want. Is it cardstock? Is it junk mail? Is it book text? Whatever you've got, you can use that paper on here. And so that's what a print looks like using one of these texture tools. Now, I'm not a big fan of cleaning things off carefully or precisely, and you can tell there was clearly still some blue paint left on that brayer, and I actually like how that's playing around with the purple. Same exact technique, but this time my brayer's not so clean, and you're going to see how the colors all blend and move together. Now, one of the things I really love are the ghost prints, and you can see that there's still some paint and pattern left on there. So I'm going to grab another piece of paper and I'm going to lift that up, and I adore that one. I think I actually like the ghost print even more than the first one, but that happens to me a lot of the time when I'm playing. Now this time, if you happen to have had a lot of caffeine, that will help you greatly because there's going to be some shaking here. Notice as I push it down, I've got that wiggle and I'm kind of moving it around, overlapping in places. Again, after having a lot of caffeine, this is a great way to deal with those shakes. So I'm going to take the first pull here, and there's going to be a lot of color and pattern. The whole page is going to be full of it. When I take the ghost print, there's not going to be quite as much. And to me, that's part of the magic of using a gel plate, is the variety of prints just from the first pull to the second pull. So take a look around your house, see what kinds of things you could glue down to cardboard to create texture making tools for you to play with on a gel plate. Well, thanks for joining me for the play. As I'm wrapping up here with the last print of the video, you'll see the first print and then the ghost print, and you'll notice how that they're different. Now, inquiring minds want to know, do you prefer the first print or the ghost print when you're playing? Just let me know in the comments which one of those is your favorite.